Barakallah fiki, Sister Roohi. We're going to jump into the rapid fire
Sure.
questions. I hope you're ready. Question number one, the last book that you were reading.
Oh, well, I can't say I finished it, but I ordered because I was going for Umrah. I was like, oh, I'll take something along in case because of all the restrictions if I can't be in the Haram all the time. So I actually have it right here, Dr. Janan's new book, The Reflections,
Ah,
Reflecting on the Names of
subhanallah.
Allah. So I can't say I've finished it, but it's
It's amazing.
we just have you read it? Yeah. So I'm very keen to get into this, but Alhamdulillah, I actually was blessed to able to use my time there. Mostly being able to get into the Haram. So I didn't get to to plow into that book as much as I would have wanted. But yeah.
She was kind enough to gift us a couple of copies, and
Oh,
so yeah,
nice.
we've
Yeah.
been reading it. So you studied computer engineering.
Yeah.
When was the last time you used computer engineering in your life?
A long time ago. Don't ask me a thing about it because the most I can do now is download apps on my iPhone. So that's about it. That's long gone. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you just got back from Umrah.
Yeah.
What was your favorite moment? Obviously, it's a very different Umrah to a typical
Yeah.
Umrah in non-COVID periods.
Favorite would be there are many, obviously. I can't say that it stands alone in and of itself, but one of them, I would say, because there are restrictions right now, you do have to have these, you have to book every, up until now, and this may change as of, I think it's changing literally this week. Some of this is changing, but you do have to book your Umrah time slot. You do have to book your time to go into the Rawda in Medina. And so sometimes, given that this is done via a couple of apps that you have to have on your local phones it's technology and it can mess up or it can be slow or it may not be effective or working. So we had a situation there were very few of us that were together, about half a dozen people, and we couldn't get a time slot to go into the Rauda for the women. And this is done separately, obviously the brothers separately, the sisters separately. Alhamdulillah, I went with very little expectation because, one, I have been there before. I've been blessed to go there before. And I didn't want to set myself up to think, okay, I'm going to be able to do everything the way I normally. But there were a couple of girls in our group who had never been there before. This was their first time. And, you always live this experience so much more intensely when you're with people who are experiencing it for the first time because you're seeing it through their eyes. And they were literally in tears because they could not get that time slot to come up in the time, because we're only in Medina for, remember, you get like your 3 days or whatever, very limited time. And so I remember that we had to we started a series of, petitions from the gate to the security people. We went through literally 5 stages of asking from one person to another, to another, to another. And it was a lesson. I'm thinking of this because it relates so much to our topic of tawakkul. Just staying calm, but just making dua and saying, we'll take whatever means we have, which is we'll ask and we'll show them. Honestly, we don't have the time slot. We're not sure. Anyway, the end of the story and the upside of this was that we just said, we'll wait till we're the last people. If we have to wait, we don't mind. And they said, okay, fine, that's your call, you can do that. And we sat outside and waited by the gate, right outside the dome in Medina. For those of you who've been and you know where the front of the masjid is, we just sat there. And about maybe close to midnight or something like that, it was pretty late, one of the guards came up to me and she just tapped me on the shoulder and pulled me aside. And she said, your little group of 5 or 6 girls there, just come now. We'll let you in. And just one by one, you can, basically, this was an act from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There was no other way to explain it. We didn't have we were just told to go away a few times, but then we just kind of stayed there. And alhamdulillah, we went in and we got a half an hour in the Rawda, socially distanced, which never happens for women, by
MashaAllah.
the way.
No, it doesn't.
And
Doesn't
so
happen
it
for
was
men
a
either.
beautiful experience, and one probably that would be, unique, I would think, given the times that, things will change now, obviously, for that to hopefully become again a full masjid as it should be. But yeah, what an experience.
And
Very blessed. Yeah.
one very, very final question.
Yeah.
Our amazing producers dug through your Twitter
Oh,
and they
gosh.
realized that you launched Twitter in July 2014.
Yeah.
And in that month, you tweeted about tawakkul.
Yes.
So has
Yes. That was probably my first tweet. Because I think I remember I started Facebook and social media, Facebook and Twitter right about the same time. Oh my goodness. Okay, you've done your homework. Alhamdulillah. So yeah, I launched it. And if you know, my Twitter handle is, it says SS to Jannah. It's Stepping Stones to Jannah, because I actually originally started a Facebook page. When I first went on social media, it was never really about me personally with my, people I know. It was about reflections, and that's why I called it Stepping Stones to Jannah, because literally little things, like I just mentioned a little while ago, you read a page of Quran and something pops out at you and jumps out, share the reflection. So I think I started it with a post both on Facebook and Twitter that was essentially about tawakkul being a free fall. It's like a free fall, except there's a safety net. And that's really how I envisioned it one morning. I thought about it and I wrote about it, and it was a very short tweet, but yeah, I remember that.
Jazakallah khair, Sister Roohi Tahir. Barakallah fiki. Thank you so much. And for those of us who haven't read the article of Sister Roohi's on yaqeeninstitute.org, it's called In Hardship and in Ease, How to Rely on God.
Pleasure to be with you again. Thank you so much for having me. Jazakallah khair.